Bonjour and welcome to my favourite part of the week, New Comic Book Day. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? Hello to my sexy subscribers, 20,000 plus now, and it still goes up a little bit every week. So thank you if you're subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Makes me feel loved. And I'm not really needy. If you're just liking and commenting or just watching, I still love you lot. I just love my sexy subscribers that little bit more. Right, let's get right into it. I've got 5 of what I consider the best comics of this week, and we're going to do a deep dive on them. And I've got 5 that are worth an honourable mention. And I've got a whinge of the week. Well, I'm doing it more and more, I think. Should we call it a regular feature? Semi-regular feature. Whinge of the week. Just something, a tiny little thing I've got to get off my chest. There are more good comics about now than bad. This channel, I concentrate on the good stuff. But just permit me my little whinge. And it just makes me happier throughout the week once I've got it off my chest. And if you are here from Threads, a special bonjour to you. And thank you for giving me a try. I've kind of been, for the past couple of weeks, discovering a lot of great comic fans on Threads. If you've been on X, that cesspit of whatever it's turned into now, take a look at Threads. I know people saying no one's on there, but I think where only people are jumping on slowly onto Threads, what I've found with the comic book people that I'm getting involved, that I'm following and they're following me, is that we're all enjoying comics, old and new, and the recommendations are flying around, and no one's dragging the hobby down. No one's dragging the medium down. Yes, there are going to be bad comics about. There's going to be bad books. There's going to be bad TVs and bad movies, but I concentrate on the good ones. In fact, I started this channel as an antidote to all of the YouTubers that all they were doing, particularly during the pandemic, was just banging on about everything bad that was going on. Perhaps there was more bad than good, but it can't anyway. It isn't anymore. So let's get right into it. The 5 I'm gonna treat you to a deep dive on. First off, Detective Comics. This has been a good run on this. It's Ram V, as you know, if you're not aware, Ram V, very good writer. The artwork on this, I've got to do the deep dive on this, is absolutely beautiful. And it's been a night that I forget, it's called Nocturne or something. The run of stories. Gotham Nocturne. This is Act 3, Part 1 of Act 3. So, but it's been a night. A darkly gothic, it's a more sombre Batman, as opposed to what we get in the other titles. And Detective Comics has just set itself nicely apart from the other stuff, and I've really been enjoying that. Really have. Oh, and I really enjoyed this as well. The Marvel Star Wars stuff. Not every single book. I don't get every single one, and I will only recommend the ones I'm reading and the ones I've enjoyed. And this, the first series, which adapted the book, was very, very good, and they really did do a nice job. And Timothy Zahn, who wrote the Thrawn books, is involved in the story writing on that. So just well worth checking out. We're going to have a look at the artwork and that as well. This has definitely grown on me. 100% this book has grown on me. I wasn't sure. Got to admit, I wasn't sure with the political angle of it. I can kind of see where he's going now. I think Tom King is just guilty. A little bit like Jonathan Hickman. This new generation of writers, I'm not disliking their work. It just seems every now and again, I just want them to get on with it. You know, give me, you know, just smash stuff, or just have a fight, or just do something. Come on. You know, just see, every now and again, it just feels like it's 1 or 2 issues too late. Anyway, Anyway, he's getting on with it now, and I can see where it's going. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, and I have been waiting for this one. Been a Hellblazer fan since year dot. Actually, rebagging and boarding. Just quickly, look, I've got the first 100 issues there that I've just had to rebag and board. There he is. Look, the first issue. What year was that? 88. Yeah, January 88 till now. Followed that. I followed the bloke all the way through. So obviously, I'm a little bit biased on this one, but it is. It's nicely darkly humorous. Cy Spurrier on it. That's proper his cup of tea, that is, because obviously he's on the Flash at the moment, and that's another one where I'm the pseudoscience. I've got to say, this isn't my whinge of the week, by the way. I'm just going to say it quickly because it's Simon Spurrier who's written that one, and he's on the Flash. The pseudoscience is just doing me hiding. I know I've said that before, but even he's getting on with it this week. This month, and that's issue 5 of Flash. Sorry, I just had to check that. It's on the side there. We're not going to have a look at that. We need another 2 issues. That's 7 issues in for me to make up my mind. Artwork's glorious, Mike Deodato Jr. Anyway, back to, sorry for that, I digress. And my book of the week. Oh yes, the quality, the quality of Geiger. Geiger's been the only one. So God, and how can I forget Junkyard Joe? The quality of what Gary Frank and the lads over at what are they calling it? Ghost? Are they calling it Ghost Machine? Is that what they're calling it? As well as this? Yes. Clue was in the title, wasn't it? Oops. They're creating their own universe. Geiger, Rook, Redcoat. We'll have a look at the stories. Glorious artwork. Brian Hitch, Gary Frank, and forgive me, we'll have a look anyway. We're gonna have a look, but top quality there. And it was $4.99, but feels well worth it compared to the $4.99 Hellblazer. I know you can't really see the thickness of the comics from there, but oh, look at that! It really feels like that was jam packed. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed both, but just on that aside, every now and again little things niggle me, and $5 for that and that. That is more bang for your buck. I don't know how that translates into digital, or if it's all a flat price. I don't know. Perhaps anyway, I don't do digital. But if you do, you're still enjoying your comics, so no problem at all. Honourable mentions go out to this one again. I think this has either been in my top, in my top 5, or been in honourable mention every issue. But Tom King is doing. It's an anthology. In every issue, you get your main Batman story at the front. Tom King has done the most recent one. Spot on, kind of day one Batman and Joker when they first like a redoing. But don't be scared off by that. And in the later ones, it's got Wild Dog of all characters. Wild Dog. They've resurrected him. There's an Aquaman story. You get 4, and then you get a Batman black and white in the back. And they're always this month, and actually every month, the black and white stories. Oh yeah, they have been top notch. But all in all, that's a top notch product. This is a top notch product as well. But we've done him before, and the only thing I will say, guys, is I love Liam Sharp's artwork. But it is getting murkier, and the comic it's getting murkier and murkier. And I don't think the deep dive is going to really. But I still love his artwork. And I love the comic. It's mad as a bag of frogs, to be fair. And that's taken a while. Issue 4. And sorry if you're in America, we've only got this in Britain this week. And I know issue 5 is out this month. If it isn't already out, we just are not getting it. I don't know whether that's Valiant or Diamond, but anyway. Once it arrived, it was still a good read. It's just a shame it's 3 months, Jeff Lemire did do the deep dive on this last week, I think. Last month, sorry, on issue 7. Jeff Lemire, as always, superlative in that genre of horror comics. Another one that I am going to give this an honourable mention, because I did mention Jonathan Hickman, didn't I? And this is finally kind of gelling a bit. But like I say, it's taken his time. There was a massive $10 book, which was totally unnecessary, that kind of give me the ump straight away, to be fair, on this book. I think they made a big splash of it, and I think it was unnecessary. I think they could have just brought the book out and just as a comic and just told a story with Doctor Strange and other magical, the magical universe that Hickman wants to do. But again, it's all going into the deeper. He goes into it so deep that you sometimes, a bit like the Flash, sometimes you think, oh, don't give me that, just. And I do, I like it. That's honourable mention. So I don't know what keeps making me nitpick, but I'm enjoying it. That's why it's there. I'm kind of saying I'm finally enjoying it. And I might kind of reread, I think I said with Hickman's, with Ultimate Spider-Man #1. It makes me want to go back to Ultimate Invasion and kind of reread those books leading up to Ultimate Spider, just to get, and I think it, in a way, it kind of requires that. You kind of got to, maybe you've got to, I'm just thinking out loud now, you've got to absorb writers like Hickman and Tom King. Maybe you've got to absorb their writing a bit more like you would a book and relax a bit rather than maybe be half tempted to speed read or whatever. One thing I do not speed read is Darkwing Duck, and this is a spin-off, Justice Ducks. And no, you haven't flicked over channels accidentally, and if you have followed any of my review videos for any length of time, you know this is my little guilty pleasure. I wouldn't tell everyone that I picked this book up. This is between me and you. All right, I just love this stuff, and it is well done. It's well crafted, and like I always say, it reminds me of my generation, the Saturday morning cartoons. It just has that feel of just innocent fun that is infectious for me. I love it. And especially Darkwing Duck, it's properly pun heavy, and you can tell that the creators are having a ball with it. So if you want a little bit of fresh air, especially if it's digital, maybe if you don't want to pick up the floppy, so I don't know what it costs to have that, or if you can get a free, what's it? So anyway, 5 great ones, 5 honourable mentions. That's 10 great comics there, and that's not just the ones that are like the Flash and Daredevil, Black Armour. Just one I can't. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. Let me get me whinge of the week out of the way before we do our deep dive. Sorry, Marvel. I can't get on with it. I can't. I just can't do it. It is not. I know I'm going to be controversial. He is not the Punisher. I'm sorry. It is a decent enough story for an ex-SHIELD operative. It is a decent enough story. Do you know what? It's action-packed and it's inventive enough. It's imaginative enough. It's not the Punisher. But please forgive me, because I've got 50 years of investment in the other bloke. What's his name? Frank Castle. Yes, the Punisher. So I think I'm entitled to have a little bit of a whinge, because either stick with it and modernise it, and he has been modernised over the years. He has been, once upon a time, he was a Vietnam vet. You can't carry on like that forever, can you? Because he'd be like in his 70s now. So I think we all get it, don't we? I think we all get it. I know we're all comic book readers, but we're not stupid, are we? But the whole thing, the whole shtick of the batteries that power his suit are exactly there, and someone calls him the Punisher in the first, and he goes, no, I'm going to use that name, and he's after revenge for his family. No, sorry. And I finally, issue 3, read this. It's not a particularly bad comic. It's just not the Punisher. Sorry, Marvel. No. Whinge over. Thanks for bearing with me. let's take a deep dive on the good stuff after the scroll. Okay, here we go, guys. We're starting off with this beauty, and it is a beauty. And this has been, look at this. I don't know whether this is like a kind of painted artwork or penciled and painted, because it's not inked. It looks like painted art, whatever format. I'd love to know. Look at how beautiful this artwork is. I hope that's going to show. I'll get the pages as flat as I can, guys, because I think this kind of stuff is stunning. And Batman is now in between worlds. Now, I know that's a familiar trope, but please bear with me when I say this is Talia has taken him to Arras, and Ram V has really come up with some great storylines in Detective Comics recently, and it's packed. The artwork is dense. You know, obviously these scenes are desert and at night and etc. etc. But this is beautiful stuff. And Riccardo Federici and Stefano Raffaelli are the artists on this, and Lee Luffridge on the colours. Now, Lee Luffridge is a name I think I've mentioned before, and Ram V. These two, I don't know what else they've done, but I've got to say, this is absolutely stunning artwork. This is properly my cup of tea artwork-wise. And spoilers, please. If you haven't been reading Detective Comics and you might want to jump on it, I'm just going to give away a little bit of a spoiler. But basically, so you know, please skip now. Basically, the storyline leading up to this is that Batman has been hung or hanged. I think that's the proper English terminology. Actually, hanged, when you have been hanged by the neck. But not quite dead, because Catwoman and a gang, Commissioner Gordon and that, managed to save him just at the last minute, but he's hanging on. He's just hanging on. Look at, and you know, I won't say any more than that. And the question is back. Now, obviously, I don't know if this is the two different. Yeah, this is obviously. Sorry, guys. This is obviously the two different artists. So I'm assuming. Sorry, guys. I've just realised that. Forgive me. Riccardo Federici, I'm assuming, is this one because he's first, and Stefano Raffaelli is doing the question, because this is running like concurrently with the story that we're seeing here of Batman in Arras literally fighting his demons. But I just had to show you guys this artwork if you're not picking it up. The story also by Ram V is spot on. Like I say, we've got a female question. I'm not the most massive DC fan, but anyway, the character works in this storyline. It's creepy how she is, you know, working her powers to find out a bit more about what's going on, because obviously Batman's gone from Gotham, so she's investigating what's been going on, and she's finding her own mystery. And there we go, you know, round the campfire talking to, I don't know if this far had our path sees, he was a soldier once, blah, blah. You know, is anything to do with Batman lore? I don't think it is. But I just really thoroughly, where I'm a big fan of the artwork, I suppose, I just absolutely adored this stuff. It's like these pages are just, yeah, literally can't gush about this enough. And obviously, what's going on now? The Court of Owls has been in previous issues and stuff, and their machinations behind the scene. Look at this. Welcome to the Gotham that the Batman saved, this guy. And then we get a little bit of Dr. Hurt's backstory here. In this little backstory, and I'm enjoying these as well, these backstories. They don't all work, but they're little tryouts for different writers and artists. You know, sometimes it's an artist we know with a writer that's being tried out, I'm assuming, etc., etc. Anyway, guys, that is a great jumping on issue 1081. Jump on that. It's part. I know it's Act 3 of Nocturne, but I think you'll. Well, I do think you'll get it from there. What's going on, and then go for the back issues. They're not as hot as Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I don't think Detective Comics back issues, or get the collected. This will be another one when it's connected that will be great, because this is a great character created by Timothy Zahn years and years ago in the books. Now, if you haven't got that, I think I've already recommended. If I haven't recommended it, I'm doing it now. Adapting, I believe it was the first book in the Thrawn series that Timothy Zahn did back in the day, and with Jodie Hauser and Pat Olive, great to see him back. I don't know Andrea DeVito. Maybe she coloured it, or is it he? I don't know, with all the foreign names and stuff. So forgive me. They are I assume, are the Inca. And what a great Star Wars package it makes. And I've said it to anyone who wants to listen. If you're a Star Wars fan, get these comics, because this for me is my Star Wars fix. Here we go. He's got to go on. Basically, in this issue, he's got to go on a mission with Vader. End of. I'm in. I don't care. I'm in. Now we've got Padme. As if I couldn't get any more in on this story. Now here's Padme, and then we get. This is the bit of backstory, obviously. I think you're getting the idea now. There's a little bit of friction between these two. Vader thinks he can order his crew around, but we all know, if you're into the Thrawn stuff, we all know how he is. The Chimera, his ship is his. That's his. So obviously there's some nice friction there that you'd only get from great writers like Timothy Zahn. And Jodie Hauser, I don't know, and then look, as if as if you're not in already, bear with it, and you get more of this in the backstory, like then. So, and the two sides of the story are going to coincide towards the end of it. And this is only issue 1. Love it. So, thoroughly recommend. And this one, yes, I've decided. I've made my mind up, like I made my mind up with Punisher. Perhaps if it was a new year, make some decisions, Hog. And I made a decision on this, and I've got to admit, I'm enjoying it now. Like I've slowly come round to it. Yes, I would still say it has been a bit slow, but this was This was just a better issue to follow. This was just a build-up to the team. So, all the other characters are saying to Wonder Woman, like, we want to help you. And she's saying, no, I'm not going to put my friends in harm's way. That's basically this issue. So you've got Yara, and you've got 2 other characters that she says, right, if you can beat me in these challenges, here we go, then I will, and alongside this storyline, he's lining up the villain of the piece, or the team the team that's being set on Wonder Woman, who these all want to help her deal with. And she's saying, no, on my, swear on the Amazon code, whatever it is, Hippolyta, whatever it is, blah, blah. So anyway, beats her in an arm wrestle. Here we go. He's assembling the team still. What's his name? Steele. Agent Steele, whatever is General Steele. I think that was a company in England, General Steele. Anyway, this was quite a funny one. Now, it could make you roll your eyes a little bit. It could, but I don't know how tongue-in-cheek this was. Basically, this challenge was playing a Superman versus Batman computer game. I took it tongue-in-cheek. I've got to say, guys, I took it tongue-in-cheek, and but Wonder Woman still wins. And she says, oh look, she's got a Teen Titans Go T-shirt on, so I think this was all tongue-in-cheek stuff. but done with a perfectly straight face, as Tom King would do. So yeah, but I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of needed. Perhaps this is what it needed, but this has come now, and perhaps this light with all the shade going on is what's kind of, here's our team that's been assembled of villains, and this is what I like about it. We're getting to the grit of it now, but it's taken 5 issues. But nevertheless, I'm in. I'm glad I've got all 5 issues. And here we go. They've all agreed that no, these challenges that we lost, we're not having it. No, thank you. So they're all in. So we've assembled our 2 teams. We've got the villains, and I'm really looking forward to it kicking off. Tom King, please get on with it now. As always, Sampere's artwork, absolutely beautiful. This thing, I've got to say, I haven't been reading. That's not me. That's not a bit of me. Sorry. I'm so sorry, but no. But this is still worth it, guys. It's still worth it, definitely. And yes, like I showed you how early on, and actually, I was picking up monthly the Swamp Thing he first appears in. So that's, I am a geeky. I do say it on the cover, geekyOlhog. So yeah, I am showing my age there, guys. Picked up all this stuff at the comic shop. And weirdly, just on that note, hello Paul. Before Paul started in comics and fantasy, I would have been. It's changed locations a few times, my regular comic shop, but I would have been picking up Swamp Thing and Hellblazer in the late 80s from that shop. And it's the same owner. Ian is the same owner now as he was back then, but obviously Ian was at his little shop in Barking in Essex, and I would have been picking them up monthly. So how about that, guys? How about that? How long ago is that? 35 years. Wow. Anyway, let's get on with this issue. It's just good for me to see Hellblazer back. And listen, this story is him. He's on a road. Aaron Campbell, great art job. I haven't come across his artwork before, so forgive me. Obviously, Simon Spurrier, yes, he's writing. I don't think I've come across Aaron Campbell's art on anything before. It really does suit Hellblazer. And he's basically, here he is talking to a ghost. He's in America. And we're introduced to a new character. Don't know, we just don't know what's going to be going on here. And obviously it's just a weird and wacky, wonderful world of Constantine, who is now dead, hence the name Dead in America. He splashes some of the Fountain of Youth, like who he says, no, of course it's not the Fountain of Youth. He's in some, faux temple somewhere. And his heart hasn't beaten. Look, it's 17 days since I left London. My heart hasn't beat once in all that time. He splashes the Fountain of Youth. Now he's clutching his arse. Look, shit. Which I thought was, we don't know. That's just left. Anyway, they're on this London red bus touring America. It reminded me of Cliff Richards on his summer holiday in that 1960s film. But they don't sing. Don't worry, they don't sing. And then we get more. The adventure continues from there. I'll say no more than that, other than you kind of got to be a Hellblazer fan or know what he's about to understand this story. That's all. That's my only tiny criticism, is that this isn't a jumping on point, guys. So if you haven't read Hellblazer before, or bits of it, and know his character and what he can do and can't do, I think this might come across as a bit contrived. But if you know the character, it just flows. And Simon Spurrier is doing a good job. And can you see who's turning up? Ooh. I'm going to leave it there. That's midpoint. I'm going to leave it there. Look who's turning up. So if you're into it, if you've been on board with Vertigo back in the day, there is a little bit of a clue on the title. I kind of rolled my eyes at that, but listen, they've got to sell books, haven't they? And Sandman is obviously a mega hit for DC. And book of the week, guys, come on. Oh. And it's well worth $4.99, I've got to say. I know it's, some people, we're all, whatever country you're in, we're all getting aware of the cost of stuff, and comics are no exception. Please believe me when I say this is well worth it. They have spent some time building up. These guys at Ghost Machine have spent their time building up. Beautiful cover by Gary Frank, which is going to be with his artwork. And this is all the talent involved. First off, we've got Gary Frank with a little bit of a Geiger backstory. So if you haven't been getting Geiger, this kind of does give you a nice little intro. Where I said if you could jump, if this is your first and you haven't been getting the other Geiger stuff, I think this does give you enough information. And obviously, sublime Gary Frank artwork. He's on top of his form recently. And it leads into, this is going to be a new title from Ghost Machine as well, Redcoat, Brian Hitch. This is a less serious. Geiger is very, very serious post-apocalyptic horror story. Redcoat is going to be exactly the opposite, I think. The swashbuckling main character who somehow survives from the Revolutionary Wars. It's going to be. I can't wait for this first issue to come out. In fact, I can't wait for any of the first issues of this storyline to come out. They're out in April. Geiger and Redcoat. But Geiger I've been following in a mini series in the 2 issues that come out recently, and also Junkyard Joe that I mentioned earlier. So that they've all been good so far. So I can't wait for Brian Hitch on Redcoat. Here's a little showing you how they're expanding their kind of connected universe. How they're all, the Northerner. This has got to come out now. The next story, the next intro. Jason Fabok? Sorry if I got his surname wrong. I think this is his artwork now. Hold on. I think it says it at the beginning. Sorry, guys. You know what I'm like by now. Yes, Jeff Johns on the writing. Lovely. Same as Geiger. And the same as Redcoat. Oh, right. So, it really is connected, isn't it? Universe. And it's Jason Fabok, yeah. On the artwork. And it is glorious. Absolutely glorious. Brand new to this, as far as I know, brand new to this, intro anthology, where these helmets allow the wearer to, they're on an alien planet. I think they're on an alien planet. Yeah, Planet Exodus. But basically they can control the animal. So he's obviously different birds. He's obviously different porcine species. What did they call him? Swine. He's swine. He's rook. And then there's, look at this, glorious. Love it. Love the character design. They're on an alien planet. Just up to a quick little adventure. And Wolf, Dire Wolf, is the female character. And here we go. Like, I love all this stuff, all these bits. Does make it easy. Dire Wolf, here we go. Does make it a lot easier to get right into it. And obviously there's more characters to come. Choose your animal. I mean, it's a really nice hook, actually. Really nice hook. Really intriguing first issue. Now these are, it says here, there's a family universe they're doing, full of heart, heroics and humour. Now this may appear to be just like a kind of a plain kind of piece of soap opera, like a comedic soap opera, but it's not. You kind of find out, and I won't spoil it, but you kind of find out that not all is not as it seems in this storyline. You've got the granddad, you've got the kids and the parents, you've got the parent, so you've got the 3 generations of this family there, and the shenanigans they get up to. So I will just skip ahead. I've got to admit, I've just realised I haven't read this story yet. That's the last one on it. The last one, Hornby and Hornby and Halo. Yeah, probably one that isn't for me on first glance, but I will read it. But the others and this one, and again, more beautiful artwork. They've got all these adverts that set up what's going on in this story, and it's just like a little, it's like a little Twilight Zone episode. Really, you're wondering what he's reading the comic of the previous characters. I like the way they've linked it. Look at this. But it's kind of like a horror kind of Twilight Zone-y kind of to do with this guy. So I won't, I won't flip the page over because that's literally just 6 or 7, like 7-page, like a taster of Hyde Street, and that artwork is. You're probably all shouting at me now. I mean, who's that? Ivan Rice, love it. So that is my book of the week. But now, what's going to be cover of the week? If we only had money for one comic, look, what would it be? Where would my money go? Where would your money go? It's got 3 different characters on that. She's mean and moody, showing a little bit off. Look, so who's this? Well, red coat, leather, radioactive. Nice horror cover, to be fair, with good old man. It kind of gives it away a little bit what comes at the end, and what's to come, and maybe this as well. But if you're going to show it off. Same as that, you've got to put her on the cover, haven't you? There's a bit of nice negative use of negative space there with the artwork. What I will say, I'm just going to put that cover there. Just bear with me one moment. Now, Darth Vader's in that. And I've got to say, as far as covers go, there's nothing wrong with the artwork on that. It is very static. But would you not have decided to put Thrawn and Vader on that to sell that comic? I can't believe they haven't done it. I cannot believe that Vader is in 3/4 of that and they haven't done it. So anyway, that is not cover of the week. The Detective Comics ones are often too subtle. They're kind of for comic fans rather than something that might appeal on the spinners. But I've got to say, if you're going to, I know it's Batman, but if it's Batman and you've got that, I thought that was a very interesting. I thought there was something quite impactful about that there hasn't been on previous Detective Comics. And there's not much competition this week, I've got to say. The only other two, Flash I thought was quite a moody piece. What is going on? What's it got to do with speed? Find out inside. And I thought that was quite gritty. Bit of blood in the mouth and, out of his nose, broken nose and what was going on. Cuts in his cowl. And he's in the armour as well, so I don't know, in the eyes. I thought that was quite impactful. But as far as getting it to, again, quite static, so I'm gonna kind of do away with that. Wonder Woman, all right, it isn't exactly the most action-packed, so, and neither is Flash. They're great covers, don't get me wrong, artwork-wise, same as this. Beautiful artwork. And it is kind of between these 3. It's moody, it's evocative, and that kind of says everything it needs to on the tin, that what's inside it. But I'm going to go for Hellblazer this week, and not because I'm biased. I'll tell you what, it's because there is so much on it. There is so much that you've got Swamp Thing, what's going on with Hellblazer. I think this one would have made. I know this one might be, as I'm describing it, I'm thinking you might find this one a bit controversial, and I'm thinking, with Sandman there as well. You've got his name on there. There is Sandman, Swamp Thing, Hellblazer, and a big red bus. So that's going to be my cover of the week, guys. Let me know if you find it controversial. Let me know if you're picking up, or you picked up comics this week that I haven't gushed about. and let me know what you're enjoying. Or let me know, have a little whinge about something you picked up that wasn't quite what you thought it'd be, or any of these that I've enjoyed that you haven't. Let me know that as well. Anyway, until next time, everyone, I will bid you all adios.